When we talk about World War II survival, most people think of soldiers, weapons and battlefields. But, the real fight for survival happened in kitchens, basements, gardens and workshops. Across occupied Europe and rationed Allied nations, families were not asking how to win a war. They were asking how to eat tomorrow, how to stay warm tonight, and how to keep children alive through another winter. There were no online orders, no backup generators, and honestly, no second chances if something broke. What kept these families alive were not luxuries or modern gadgets, but a small set of tools so essential that life without them would collapse within days. These were tools chosen for reliability, repairability, and daily use. In this video, we are breaking down 6 of those essential survival tools, explaining exactly how they were used during the war, and showing how the same principles still apply today if systems fail again. A simple hand saw quietly determined whether a family could cook or freeze. One of the most important tools in a World War II household was a basic handsaw. Firewood was life. It meant heat, cooked meals, boiled water, and preserved food. Families used handsaws daily to cut logs into manageable lengths, often salvaged from fallen trees, bomb-damaged buildings, or hedgerows. The lesson here is efficiency and independence. A handsaw does not rely on fuel or electricity, and it can be sharpened indefinitely. Today, keeping a quality handsaw and learning proper cutting angles allows you to process wood even if power tools fail. The step-by-step principle is simple. Source wood locally, cut to stove length, split if needed, and store it dry. Without this ability, no other survival plan matters in cold climates. A cast-iron pot replaced dozens of modern appliances at once. World War II families relied heavily on heavy cast-iron cookware. One pot could boil water, cook stews, bake bread when buried in coals, and even sterilize tools or cloths. Cast-iron survived abuse, uneven heat, and decades of use. Families cooked low and slow, stretching small amounts of food into meals that lasted days. Today, the same tool allows cooking over open flame, wood stoves, or charcoal without delicate parts breaking. The practical application is to learn one-pot cooking techniques, focusing on soups, grains, and root vegetables that extract maximum nutrition from minimal fuel. A manual grain grinder kept calories flowing when bread disappeared. Flour shortages were common and store-bought bread was unreliable. Families who survived often had hand-crank grain mills. These allowed wheat, rye, barley, corn, and even acorns to be turned into usable meal. This was not convenience food. It required effort, but it meant independence. Modern survivalists can apply this by storing whole grains instead of flour, since grains last longer and resist pests better. The process is straightforward. Clean the grain, grind only what you need, and cook immediately. This tool turned raw harvest into life-sustaining calories. A sewing kit was a medical, economic and survival tool all in one. Clothing just couldn't be replaced easily during the war, no matter how much you needed it. With a sewing kit, families could repair garments, reinforce shoes, patch up bedding, and, even stitch wounds in emergencies when doctors were nowhere to be found. Buttons, thread, needles and scissors, these were treated with the same care as food, honestly. Today, this lesson is really about durability over replacement. Learning basic sewing, it extends the life of your gear, clothing, and even shelter materials. In survival terms, this sort of thing reduces exposure. helps prevent illness, and, preserves precious resources. A shovel quietly handled food, shelter, sanitation, and defence. The humble shovel was one of the most versatile tools of the war. Families used it to dig root cellars, bury food caches, plant gardens, drain water, and create basic latrines to prevent disease. In occupied areas, it was also used to conceal valuables and supplies. The modern application is understanding that sanitation and storage are survival multipliers. A shovel allows you to control environment, temperature, and waste. Few tools offer that level of versatility. A hand-powered radio connected families to the outside world. Information was survival. Battery or hand-powered radios allowed families to track front lines, ration changes, and air raid warnings. Knowing when to hide food, evacuate, or stay put saved lives. Today, this translates to maintaining access to information independent of the grid. A hand crank or battery radio keeps you informed when modern networks fail, allowing better decisions under pressure. Why these tools mattered more than weapons or stockpiles. What these tools share is durability, simplicity, and repeat use. They were not emergency-only items. They were used daily, maintained carefully, and passed down. Modern survival planning often focuses on gear accumulation, but WWII families focused on mastery. One tool, fully understood, was worth more than 10 unused gadgets. These 6 tools kept families alive not because they were advanced, but because people knew how to use them under stress, scarcity, and fear. If this kind of grounded, historically proven survival knowledge matters to you, subscribe to the channel, share this video with someone who values self-reliance, and help preserve the lessons that once kept entire generations alive.